Thank you very much for joining. It's Friday, the 11th day of July 2025, and we have come to the end of the week. But guess what? The Nigerian market is not through with its bull run. Today, we proceed again to see opportunities as they emerge. I want to believe that everyone's portfolio is currently all shining green all the way. And I want to congratulate all of you who have kept faith with a stock like Chams, because suddenly Chams has finally woken up to the reality of the bull run in the market. What do we have? We have Chams flying all the way to over 3 naira and continues to stay on full beat today. Thank you very much from wherever you are joining. It's fantastic and a good moment to be here. Congratulations to everybody who has been a part of this. As you can see, it's another day to make money. These days, the way the market is going, it's almost looking like money growing like grass. But it doesn't used to be so and will not permanently be so, because there comes a time when profit makers or profit takers will begin to sell some stocks and take their profits. I told you yesterday about the listing of GT Bank in the London Stock Exchange, and after that we saw ripple effects on Nigerian bank stocks as they continue to rise. Well, the story remains the same, and I want to congratulate anybody here who went ahead towards the end of yesterday's live stream to purchase a stock like FCMB. I told you no matter what the challenge is with these stocks, when the other players begin to rise, they get pulled up as well along and make a move. So suddenly, having closed yesterday at 9 naira 60 kobo, I remember while I was talking about FCMB and saying, look, these banks will still find a way to rise based on the sympathy play in the sector. FCMB sold at 9 naira 20 kobo yesterday, but guess what? After closing at 9 naira 60 kobo, it's now 10 naira 40 kobo per share. So somebody might have just made 1 naira per share gain between yesterday and today. Looks really interesting, right? Okay, so I'll keep your comments coming in and let me begin to take at them immediately. Remember, today is Friday. It's going to be very, very frenetic, and there's going to be some form of tension, and everybody just know what to do per time. Where you need to take profit, you should take profit, and let's make money together. Congratulations once again and welcome. You know how we do it. Keep tapping your screens, keep liking wherever you are watching from, on YouTube, on Instagram and TikTok. Go ahead to keep liking, sharing this live stream so you can get more people involved and, of course, change lives as we are doing here. All right? So let's keep going. Bring your comments on. And Usman Bukar says, Jaiz is flying. I told everyone here that Jaiz, having published a fantastic result, should not remain at 3 naira 15 kobo or 3 naira 18 kobo as we saw yesterday. Guess what? As we speak right now, Jaiz Bank has flown to about 3 naira 50 kobo thereabouts. That's why I saw it before coming on live. And I do not think that the momentum is going to slow down anytime soon. Remember when Dr. Yomi called from California in the US, talking about how he stumbled across the result of Jaiz and beginning to wonder why we do not process information quickly. That has been the case. And for those of us who are in this community, we tend to take advantage of news and information to capitalize on some stocks. As at that time, Jaiz was still selling around 3 naira 18 kobo. Guess what? Today, it's 3 naira 50 kobo and still climbing. Keep your comments coming in. Prime P says MTNN is flying, right? I said it here that MTN has completed its consolidation around the 350 naira mark, and it was now ready to keep going. And today, MTN suddenly, having closed at 390 naira yesterday, slammed and flew to 400 naira as we speak. In fact, it was trading above 400 naira at some point during trading this morning. It sold so high and a lot of attention is still on that stock. More than 1 million shares traded, more than $500 million spent buying only MTN alone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at my screen now and I'm seeing Honeywell Flour trying to gather steam yet again. From the 27 it closed yesterday, it's now selling at 28 naira 50 kobo. Chams is giving me joy, says Chika. I can tell you we are so many in that boat, and it's time for us to have some joy, because at this price, Chams is already giving people over 60% profit. If you bought Chams at 2 naira per share, which is the price that most of us eventually got into, under 2 naira and 2 naira. Some people got in at 2 naira 10 kobo. Whatever you bought the Chams for, currently Chams is at 3 naira 32 kobo and zero offer. 15 million bids so far, 20.9 million shares traded already, which means the liquidity is there. And then, of course, 69 million naira spent on Chams so far. And now, can I tell you the good news? While you are still celebrating your over 60% gain on Chams already, how about if I remind you that a fantastic mouth-watering rights issue of about 1 naira 70 kobo is still waiting for you to buy this same Chams that goes for 3 naira 32 kobo. You are going to get a fantastic discount on your rights issue. Isn't this the best deal as far as the computer hardware industry or sector is concerned in Nigeria? Well. You see, I can see some very interesting takes here. Hey, it's Kaka says, I'm 62% up on Chams. Can you beat that? Now, these are visionaries who saw into the value in a company and took position. And this is why we say, do not come to the stock market as though you are gambling. The stock market is not a gambling place or a betting game, right? We look for value ahead of the market, take position, and then wait to see our decision rewarded. And that's what's happening with so many of us. Zenith Bank is jumping, coach. PJ, I can tell you, my eyes have been on that stock all day before coming on live here. As we speak, Zenith is at 69 naira 60 kobo. Can you believe that? This was a Zenith. I posted on Twitter that my heart goes out to those who went on to sell their Zenith at 43 naira per share, exactly about barely 3 weeks ago, because that was around the 16th and 17th of June when the forbearance issues came up. Before clarification, people jumped out and sold their Zenith as low as 43 naira. Imagine, for the person who sold at 43 and the person who bought from you, that person, you didn't just lose money, you made the other person richer, because anybody who bought Zenith at 43 and it is now just 3 weeks after is 69, you are on about 60% profit in such a powerful stock like that pays dividend twice a year. You see, when opportunities comes, what you should do is capitalize. Do not entertain the fear of others. And that's what we are seeing right now. I told you that there was serious headroom in Zenith in terms of upward price movement. What do we have today? Congratulations to all the brave members of Net Worth Investors Club who went ahead to buy into Zenith. GTCO still on the race to 100 naira per share. This is going to be just a matter of time. Next week, this stock will touch 100 naira. Who would have believed that a Nigerian bank will touch 100 naira per share in this 2025? But that's what we are seeing today. Suddenly, GTCO is at 94 naira per share. Fantastic, isn't it? Now, imagine that you were not in this community. Imagine that you didn't come across this particular community or this page. What would have been your lot right now? For those of you who are already making it. On to comments on YouTube. I can see a lot of comments. YouTube is really flying, bubbling. It says, good afternoon, our amiable coach. That's Pastor John Adelumola. Thank you very much, Pastor. Coach, I like what you do. God bless you. Please, should I sell my VFD? Peter Wanchuku, every stock has its day. and there's a purpose for buying your VFD, I would advise you, please stay on and hang on there. I would refer you to the situation with Chams those days. We bought Chams. A lot of people were told to buy Chams on, I think, around November. So a lot of people bought 1 naira 80 kobo, 1 naira 90 kobo, 2 naira, and so on and so forth. They waited and watched many other stocks flying. The likes of livestock was moving from 3 naira 72 kobo to 9 naira. The likes of tip went from 1 naira 90 kobo to about 9 naira and then 10 naira before our very eyes. Chams was just there. Listen, the way to make money in this market is not to jump from one stock to the other, but to target a particular stock, get in and sit tight. Because I know there are people listening to me right now who must have regretted selling either all of their Chams or part of their Chams. Well, if they bought into a stock that eventually made them more money, fantastic. But a lot of times, if you keep chasing one stock after the other, this is what happens. Someone actually that I know personally had to tell me, look, I'm going to sell Chams. That's the only thing that is not moving in my portfolio. I say, you better wait or you will learn patience the hard way. Well, guess what? The moment he sold, that was when Chams first touched 3 naira, for instance, just about 3 days ago. And here we are. It continues to be on full bid. What if Chams goes on to hit 5 naira per share? I know that so many patient ones would have made a lot of money. So I will advise you, just keep your feet on the ground, and this is where a lot of discipline comes in. Otherwise, this market can humble you. You may just jump into a stock that is just about to reverse while leaving a stock that is just about to jump. This is the problem with things like this. So the rally that VFD has not experienced will eventually come when maybe these other rallies stops. That's why we don't chase stocks. For your information, everybody listening to me, I am here to also let you know that the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. We are only excited and happy when we find that the stock market is rewarding us sometimes quicker than we expected. Sometimes we also have to wait long enough to get our reward. But one certain thing is sure: give the market time, it will reward everybody no matter what. And that's why I love the market. You don't have to be too sophisticated to know every bit of details, because not everybody can know everything. But you see, give time and then just listen a bit and make a good decision. A lot of the times, you make wealth in the market if you can wait. QTix is over 5 naira. I bought at 3 naira 19 kobo. Onyi stick is talking. And I'm so excited to hear all of this. And this is what we're all about. Can I tell you this? We are back in a moment of a bull run that nobody expected. Usually, when the bull comes in January, February, that's the end. But you know what? Sometimes the market comes with surprises, and we will now say, well, maybe Christmas came too early. That's the way it is. That's why you don't continue to depend on history. And that's why past performances cannot guarantee future results, okay? So we stay at it, staying invested in the words of Oremos, so that we'll continue to see. Now, some very solid stocks may not be moving, but just watch and see. The other day, I think I told Okonkwo to hold on to her Wapco. Was it Wapco? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Wapco, 103 naira per share as we speak. What does this tell me? Boa Cement, your day is coming, because you can't be there and watching Wapco fly. Even if the financials of Wapco are better than yours for now, you can show yourself as well. So that's what it is. Suddenly, Wapco that looked like it has been dragging for so long is now 103 naira. Now, there could be also some people who got tired and impatient and sold their Wapco. Well, the market doesn't reward such people, so you've got to stay patient. Coach, is the GT Bank Nigerian offer real? What offer are you talking about, Ray TV? Are you talking about the price? Is it looking unbelievable? Well, that's what it is. And then the MD of GT Bank went ahead to even put more fire. And that's why GT Bank is heading for 100 naira already, if you ask me. The MD went on the London Stock Exchange and said, look, we are working towards ensuring that GT Bank delivers 15% dividend yield. That's a man talking from an investor's point of view as well, and which will very well appeal to the investing public. So guess what? GT is working towards, and in fact, he said every Nigerian bank should be paying dividends with yields for as high as 15%. The implication is a lot for stocks whose prices are rising, because the higher the stock price goes, the higher the dividend should be to amount to a 15% yield. And trust me, anywhere in the world, 15% yield is something out of this world. And that's why I keep telling most of our Nigerians in diaspora, look, there is opportunity all over the place. Now, if you do not want to exchange your naira your foreign currency to naira to invest for fear of devaluation, you have GTCO listed there and promising 15% dividend yield. So your money is in hard currency. You buy GTCO when it was listed 3 days ago, it was at 5 cents per share. As at yesterday, it was 5.8 cents. It got to 5.8 cents per share. Let me check what it is right now, because can I inform you, the London Stock Exchange opens at 8 a.m. in the morning. All right? Standard British time, I mean, for those of you who are abroad and may want to really follow up. So I'm told that it's not appearing on Trading 212 yet. They will list it eventually there, but I can confirm to you that it's on platforms like eToro. I don't know about Robinhood, so you could just check around for GTHC. That's the ticker symbol for the GT stock listed on the London Stock Exchange. So today, as we speak currently, GTHC, which is the London GT Bank, London listed GTCO, is currently at 5.6 cents, right? So it dropped a little towards closing yesterday because I saw it go as high as 5.8 cents. So currently today, it's gaining just about 0.18%. 0.18% is what it is gaining for now. So Olubosad, like I said, you can't find it on Trading 212 yet. GTHC is the ticker symbol, GTHC, not GTCO. And you can't find it on Trading 212 yet. Give them some time, maybe up till next week, they might just get it listed, all right? Okay. Keep your comments coming in, coach. I want to go long term between GTCO and Zenith. Which should I go for? Well, go for anyone you feel like. At this point, I am still thinking and of the opinion that there is more price appreciation in Zenith right now. But guess what? That international appeal that GTCO comes with stands it out tall above every other bank stock. Remember, Stanbic used to be the most expensive bank. When Stanbic touched 50 naira for the first time, GT was still struggling around 35 or something like that. But as we speak, GT has overtaken Stanbic all of a sudden. And what do we have right now? GT is at 94, while Stanbic is at 89, still finding its way. The battle is not over yet, and we'll see how far this goes. It's really an interesting fight between both banks, but this dual listing has just turned everything on its head. Please, ROT Briscoe is presently at 391 kobo. Is 384 a good bid, sir? If you are going in for ROT Briscoe, I would advise that you stay patient. ROT Briscoe is not 391 at all. I don't know what platform you are checking from. Temitokbe, from what I see here, ROT Briscoe is at 4 naira 22 kobo, just 1 kobo less than yesterday's closing price, 422. So if you go ahead with any bid under 4, you will struggle. You will not be able to buy. Okay, good afternoon, coach. What do you think about accumulating AICO? Well, I was wondering why anybody who wants to accumulate AICO now didn't do so just about 3 days ago when it was 1 naira 60 kobo. At this price, it's better and wiser to wait a bit to see how high, where it consolidates. It's looking like it's trying to now consolidate. Look for a support above 2 naira, and it's doing very well from what I see. So it may not drop below 2 naira 20 kobo, because currently it's at 2 naira 25 kobo. There are bids at 2 naira 20 kobo. Nobody's trying to sell at that price. the cheapest offer is 2 naira 25 kobo. So a lot of patience is required to see how well it establishes that support level before taking a long-term position. But you've got to be very patient. I just wish you were able to buy under 2 naira, because I mentioned it at 260, then it went to 270. It was still okay, climbed to 291 when it should be 299. So it has remained very, very patient, and for now, it's just a matter of time. All right? Okay. Keep your comments coming in. At times, it doesn't scroll, so I hardly get to see what you are writing. Coach, please tell me where to invest 1 million naira right now. Can I tell you this? Every view and details, analysis I share here are my personal opinions and not investment advice. Please do your due diligence. I'm just expressing my personal opinion. Okay? So if I were to go through the market right now based on what's going on, and I want to invest in a long-term dividend-paying stock that has growth potentials based on the performance I have seen so far, I would rather go for a stock like Fidelity Bank. That's one of them I will be considering very strongly because of the opportunity I stand to gain from having it. It's not looking bad at 20 naira per share. If you find it under 20, most excellent. Some of us bought Fidelity during the time that a court judgment came, slamming them with about 250 billion naira judgment, and people panic sold. So it dropped to 1730, 1750. Well, it's back to above 20, and we're just watching to see how well it does from here. Remember, Fidelity pays interim and final dividends, just like most of the big banks. So that's a good prospect. And then maybe I will look at what is really going on with First Holdco and try to make a decision whether or not to take position there also. So a lot is going on. We're looking at a situation where First Holdco has just 4.5 million bids versus 33 million offers. What is happening with First Holdco? Why are you not moving like the others? Well, that's not my problem. Mine is to just keep watching the drama. So there is pressure for holders of First Bank. They are afraid, and so they are selling, and it's now just 4.5 million bids versus 33 million offers. So is there a plan? Is Firstco going to go down below 29 naira today and close below 29? Let's watch and see. All right. Okay, keep your comments coming in here on YouTube. Coach, you are the best. Please, when is the right time to sell off Omatech? Well, the best time to sell the weakest stocks you have in your portfolio is a time like this, actually, because that's when you will see crazy offers or bids, and you can easily sell anything. At this point, you can actually literally sell water to fish, even if fish dwells in water. Okay? Omatech, 1 naira 46 kobo. Who would have believed or imagined this? And it continues to be on full bid. Currently, 30.9 million shares. A lot of people are making money, especially trading penny stocks. And this is one of them that has really rewarded those who saw value in it. And I can tell you, it's always short term. The point now is, if you are satisfied with your profit, I mean, it is times like this. And interestingly, today is supposed to be Friday, when there should be investor apathy. But guess what? Nobody cares. The bull is in the market. But can I tell you this? The bears can fight back. They have capacity to do so, and the fight is not yet over. For now, the bulls are winning all the way. Let's see how far they continue to go. All right? Okay. So keep your comments coming in. I see more comments going on YouTube, which is very encouraging. What is your take on SCOA? Coach, I greet you specially. Ayomi Kumpol. SCOA does not have a very impressive financials, but again, I keep saying there could be one or two things going on in the background. We have no idea. In any case, it's currently at 5 naira per share, which is and on full bid as well, 1.2 million bids. Every time I see a stock like SCOA, like I said the other day, at 5 naira, and even on full bid, I know that there is hope for a stock like RT Briscoe that has a better financials. In any case, RT Briscoe has dropped to 4 naira per share from the 4 naira 23 kobo it closed yesterday. Okay, so barring any unforeseen circumstances, I do not, as far as the last financial report is concerned with SCOA, I do not see any long-term value in it unless there is a reform behind the scene that is taking place. You know, the auto industry is also going to benefit from what we have currently regarding CNG and so many other things that the federal government is trying to do. And the auto industry is not going to be left out. And that's where SCOA is operating from. If stocks like companies like ABC Transport can now suddenly veer into diversification into other fields, then I can tell you anything can happen. And that's where old powerhouses like this can be a fantastic. I'll give you one story. ROT Briscoe was one of those foreign companies that the indigenization policy of the Nigerian federal government of those days in the 70s affected. How? ROT Briscoe, in those days, there were a lot of foreign companies and they were all 100% owned by foreigners. In other words, the entire 100% shares is owned by foreigners. You have USC, Unilever, ROT Briscoe, where these major powerhouses, those PZ, those big names, those foreign companies, you know, they were all owned by foreigners and were being run that way until, in fact, even the breweries, including Nigerian breweries, including Guinness, all those companies were all foreign owned until the government now decided, look, if you want to continue to operate in Nigeria, then you have to indigenize these companies by making Nigerians part of the shareholders. Okay, so Guinness was the first to now make the shares available so that Nigerian shareholders can also participate. And then there came a time when others were relenting until they were forced to do so, and they were informed, look, this is a decree. You know, Nigeria was being ruled most of the time that time by military regimes, and they don't do, it's not a legislation. It's not a law, bylaw, amendment, no, not. It's a decree, and a decree is to be followed. So the government said, look, listen, if you will not indigenize your companies by giving about 50% or is it 40% to Nigerians and retain 50% or something like that, 60%, then we are going to banish you. You will get out of this country. And that was how that force now made them begin to privatize. Guess what? ROT Briscoe was sold at 50 kobo per share. And you know what? The dividend per share was 50 kobo also. Something you can never see in this day and age. ROT Briscoe did public offer and it was 50 kobo per share. And they were paying dividend per share of 50 kobo also. It's just like saying, wow, MTN is now 400 naira per share. You buy MTN and then their dividend is also 400 naira per share. That's what happened that time. Okay, so a lot is going on, and after now, what you think is expensive will become so cheap in the eyes of those who come back to buy from the market. That's the way it works. So get in there to any of these stocks and stay there for as long as you can. Good afternoon, Coach. Please, what equity can you replace Champion with for more profit? It's a matter of just looking through the market and making a decision on those stocks that have not really experienced any major move. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanbic is not sleeping. I'm seeing a serious fight back right now. Stanbic currently 89 naira 90 kobo, not relenting. All right. Okay. Keep your comments coming in. I'm sorry if I am skipping it, so you want to repeatedly send in your comments so that the system does not scroll past and make me forget. All right, I just sold my MTN at 400 after buying at 195. Please advise on stock to invest for a long term. Like I told you, everything shared in this live stream are all my opinion, personal opinion, and not an investment advice. Do your due diligence. Whatever my idea is on a stock, you have the right to do your due diligence before you invest. While I'm talking to you, someone just goes into the market and collects some Aruti Briscoe at 4 naira 23 kobo. Ahead of the 4 naira, it was selling. So some people don't have the time to waste. They go in, grab what they want, and move away. Ladies and gentlemen, Okomu oil is currently at 899 naira per share. So all along, price could climb to 1,000 and above and stayed there and couldn't move. It's almost looking like it got stuck, while Okomu continues to climb. 899 naira per share. Can I tell you, some of you are going to hit your first 100 million in your portfolio because you came across me on whatever the platform you joined. Some of you, I told you, you may not have gathered 1 million naira at once, but in the course of regularly investing, intelligently making decisions, suddenly you will see your portfolio before your very eyes in millions, and it's no longer going down. What I'm trying to help you do is to build your financial thermostat. I've taught this several weeks ago. Financial thermostat. A lot of people, they will never be able to hold down 1 million at once. When they gather money or assets or whatever it is, as it nears 1 million, they go into a spending spree and then it drops again. It keeps dropping until it's around, let's say, 200,000, then they stop spending. That cycle is going to end. Some of you, you can't seem to head above 10 million at once. Ladies and gentlemen, Honeywell flour, 30 naira per share, gaining 2 naira 70 kobo today. This market never stops giving. Are you not excited? Is it not making sense to you? Please, which stock can I buy today? Just open Atlas Portfolios. Engineer Ibrahim, there are still stocks to look to buy if you want to build wealth in this space. Currently, I'm looking at Fidelity Bank that is making a lot of sense for now. And also, I've said it before, First Holdco at 29.28, not bad. Its time will come, and hopefully most of you would have taken position well enough to enjoy a good ride, right? Stay patient, look for those stocks that have not really disappeared and take position. That's the way to go about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to tell you, our dear Vitafoam, I saw it touch 80 naira earlier before coming on live. Currently, it's at 79 naira 85 kobo. Looking good, right? Okay, whoa, I'm so excited. I bought Honeywell when it was 4 naira 6 kobo. Caroline Chinelo, congratulations. What you bought 4 naira is now 30 naira. And I can bet it was not, it's maybe maximum you bought it a year ago. Maybe you want to give us another feedback. How much is good bid for Fidelity? Well, stocks to buy here that I can also see. I'm seeing UHCN continues to attract me, but I want it at either 41 or maximum 42. That's what looks attractive for me. Another stock you may want to consider in the immediate term. As we speak, so many other stocks have climbed. Any little price market correction, because I want to also let us know, don't be too excited and think that the market will keep going, because the market does not move on a straight line, right? So you need to be vigilant for the stocks you do not intend to hold for long term. Be careful and keep a very vigilant stance towards them. It's really amazing that a stock we bought for 4 naira, 10 naira, whatever, talking about Honeywell flour, is now 30 naira per share. I remember when it got from 4 naira to 8 naira, and I was receiving calls during the live stream. Will this thing ever touch 10 naira? Will it ever near 10 naira? Will it get to 10 naira? I received such questions severally, but guess what? Everything has turned around and it keeps going. Don't forget, Access Bank is among one of the banks that should be jumping. Currently, 24 naira 10 kobo, right? The whole banking sector is going to experience some serious jump, and it's already happening before our very eyes. So let's keep going. Keep your questions coming in. Please, is UBA a good buy for now? Chris David, I was here advising us buy UBA at 36 just about 2 weeks or so ago. Currently, it's at 43 naira. Can you imagine that? Even UBA has climbed to 43 naira 50 kobo per share as we speak. UBA closed at 39 naira 60 kobo yesterday. It's now 43.50. No bank is smiling. So when they get out of your reach, you go on to the other banks. One thing I know that UBA can do is try to match what Zenith and GTCO are doing. It will be hard, but they will give it a fight. All right? Okay. And then, of course, Access has also promised that they are going to do well in terms of dividend payout to shareholders this time. So we are watching to see if they can match their words with action. Keep your comments coming in. To bid for Fidelity, it has to be around, okay, some people have gone in there and started buying Fidelity at 21. I know it closed at 20.30 yesterday. There are so many, okay, there are about nearly 200,000 bids at 21 already. But 20.95 is not a bad deal, or 20.85. I think that's a better conservative deal. Though you have 31 million shares bidded for versus 14 million on offer. Is it okay to buy TIP and ICO now? JAs. I'll go back to check TIP. It was selling at 10 naira up from the 9 something. Let's see how much it is right now. That's one valuable stock. Because it is not on the main board, it gets missed a lot of times. 476,000 bids versus 1.3 million offers. So the offers are more than the bids, and that's why the price has dropped by just 5 kobo. Well, you can go ahead to put in a bid at, say, 9 naira 80 kobo or thereabouts. In any case, Ella Lakes continues to defy logic and flying. 12 naira 63 kobo right now. It didn't face any hitches when it hit 10 naira. I know it pulled back just once, and it's now 12 naira 63 kobo and still counting. People are really making money from this stock. Interestingly, we are yet to see what profits they make. So you want to be very careful. The higher it goes, the more dangerous it is getting into a stock like this. For ICO, let's see how much it is right now. ICO is looking, it still has some bit of attention, up to 2 naira 26 kobo right now. I wish you were here to buy ICO much earlier. ICO, as I can see, there is a bid of 1.4 million at 2 naira 25 kobo. So the top bid is 1.4 million bids already, and until that is cleared, you may not be able to buy. 18 million bids versus 6 million offers, and the lowest offer is at 226, just 1 kobo difference. But you know what? That person has mounted a 1.5 million bids at 2 naira 25 kobo that must be cleared before anyone else comes in to be able to buy. Good day, coach. Regarding what's your opinion on Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank? From my research, I learned the management is buying back its shares and its performance is good. Niger uplift. I can agree with you. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank has been doing very well in terms of returns for shareholders. I want to take a look at a little bit of the fundamentals to give you some insight. So there you go. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank has 5.9 billion shares outstanding with revenues at 13.5 billion naira with a net income of 1.99 billion. So they have an earnings per share of 33 kobo, and that's fair for a bank that sells for just under 2 naira 50 kobo. Okay, the interesting part is their dividend, which is 15 kobo per share. Very, very good for a stock like that. Though at the current price now, it's a 6% dividend yield. This was a bank that was selling for less than 2 naira for so long a time, all the way from last year up till much later this year. It was still at 1 naira 90 kobo or so, until it managed to shoot above the 2 naira barrier, and now it's at 2 naira 47. Now the current bull run we're experiencing in the banking sector and in the Nigerian market so far has really not reflected on Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank yet. Okay, so that could be an opportunity, but again, not every bank can attract the level of resources that some of these bigger banks are commanding, right? And that's where the little risk is. But if what you want to put in is not too much, and you know you can really go in there to take position, then why not? As we speak right now, what do we have here? Nigeria NGX Group, 71 naira 90 kobo. Some of these stocks just keep flying as though they have steroids in them. In any case, that's the situation. And then, of course, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank, I would like to see what the bid and offer status is right now. Currently, even down by 2 kobo from the 2 naira 47 kobo it closed yesterday. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank is now at 2 naira 45 kobo. So the interest is not too much there, though the bids are more than the offers. 4.7 million bids versus about 1.7 million offers. Okay, coach, is livestock a good buy, and at what entry price today? Helen Dada. Okay, livestock, I took a look at that stock today, and I was wondering, after it rose from 3 naira to over 10 naira before shooting down back to 9 naira, it hasn't been able to move too much. Maybe it hasn't caught the investors' attention yet, with so many other stocks flying around. It's not like the financials are wonderful. They are not really outstanding yet, but they were looking great as at last year. So maybe there were one-off challenges that needed to be sorted out. In any case, currently it's at 9 naira 60 kobo, up from the 9.15 it closed yesterday. I'm talking about livestock feeds. So if you want to get in, I'm seeing a lot of bids at 9.50 and above. I would say maybe a bid under 9.50, say 9.40 or maybe 9.50, and hopefully you can get. Otherwise, because we have about 3.8 million bids versus 1.3 million offers. Remember, I'll start taking calls exactly 1 p.m. Nigerian time. That's 1 hour into this live session. So get ready to call in the moment the 1 hour mark hits in the course of this live session, 1 p.m. So we can be able to handle most of your calls as we make progress. How can I queue up for today's call-in? Well, you just wait until 1 and then call in immediately the clock hits 1, or you could just call in and stay on standby, and when that time comes, maybe you'll be on the queue. Is QTix and Sterling Bank a good buy? Sterling, like I said, will enjoy some sympathy movement, and so for the first time in some months, Sterling leaves 5 naira. It's now selling at 6 naira something. I saw it today and I could understand exactly why it suddenly gained, and that's interesting to note. Yesterday it closed at 5 naira 80 kobo. Today is 6 naira 12 kobo, and the bids are still mounting. 17 million bids versus 3 million offers. A lot is happening. There is a lot of sale regarding Ella Lakes as we speak right now. Continues to jump, and let me check what the total transactions on Ella Lakes is. 26 million shares traded right now. 336,000 million naira spent. Ella Lakes is now at 12 naira 50 kobo. Let's see the bid and offer status for Ella Lakes right now. Currently 9.3 million bids versus 860,000 offers. Is NIDF on full bid? Flamsy Ego is asking. I doubt if NIDF is on full bid. Let's quickly go and check. Currently, it's down by 1 naira from the 116 it closed yesterday. The last transaction was at 115, and so that's the situation. There are more offers than bids, 709,000 offers. Okay? I'm looking at having 5 solid stocks, 4 dividend paying stocks plus 1 growth stock for a very long term, and if possible till retirement. Please recommend. Every opinion and views expressed here are personal to me and are not investment advice. Do your due diligence even if you hear me talking so well or not so well about any stock. All right? Okay, so on that note, I guess you are saying you want 1 growth stock and then 4 solid dividend stocks. Number 1, not in any particular order. NIDF should make part of that portfolio. GT Bank, which is already very expensive and still promising 15% dividend yield, should make that list. Zenith should make that list. And then we go on to, don't forget, NASCON should make that list. Now, out of those 4, GT, Zenith, and what's the other bank now? I forgot to mention UBA. You could easily even see yourself buying up 4 banks because of the dividend culture. Why? They are very good at paying dividends. The only problem now is that if you were buying around November, you would have bought far cheaper than you're going to be buying now. In any case, all 3 mentioned are very regular dividend payers. They pay you dividend twice a year. So GTCO, Zenith, and if not UBA, then Fidelity will continually pay you dividend twice a year. Then NIDF, if you add that, will give you dividend 4 times a year. So you have established yourself as a retiree receiving regular dividend income from your investments. And then the value stock you should keep for long term is TIP. That's what I recommend. Good day, coach. What are stocks to hold for long term? Patrick Onori, I've just explained that. Nigerian exchange is flying, interestingly. That's it. Okay. Coach, God bless you. Is home call good to buy? I haven't done my research on it. Hopefully, it looks good from what I see. But most of these stocks have now gained a lot, and the safest approach right now in the Nigerian market is to look for those stocks that have been neglected. Then you go ahead and buy. Most likely, what will happen is if the bull run continues into next week, then you find them also trying to pick up. Then if there is a reversal, then you do not find yourself buying a stock that has already run, because you will suddenly run into a loss. These are things that you are not told outside. Everybody is excited. A lot of people will make videos of how they are making progress, and it may drag more people into the market, but you have to be careful what you are investing in, because for me, we should not forget the 2 rules of investing, which are rule number 1, do not lose your capital. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. So while you are coming into the market with fresh funds, with all the excitement going on, do not rush into stocks that continues to fly. Look for a way to invest in stocks that are just about making moves or have been totally neglected or not being a real part of this move. And of course, ensure that they are all fundamentally sound stocks, so that you know how we survive when the market crashes, because now it's looking interesting. Everybody is excited. There are times when the market makes everybody sad. But you know what? We know how to navigate our way through moments like this. It came during COVID 2020. The entire market across the world was brought to its knees. And then the way we survived through that season was that we kept receiving dividends. Dividend payment was continually flowing. So even when it's looking like, okay, you're not making capital gains, in fact, you are losing some of your portfolio is red, never mind, because you still own those stocks, you are rewarded with dividends every time it's time for dividends. So a stock like NIDF and these banks that pay twice, including Seplat, if you have so much money to invest in Seplat and any other stock that pays twice a year, that's a way to mitigate against some of these pullbacks that may happen, or BS season. The worst season to be in the market is during the BS. But you know what? We have decided that we want to build wealth in this market, and it really gives money. So what do? You find a way to be able to cope within whatever season the market is in. And there is always a chance to use whatever season to your advantage, because even when stock prices crash, that's a good season to go and pick the best and most top quality stocks that are supposed to be the most expensive. That's the time to go there and pick them at fantastic discounts. I hope you get the point now. That's the way it works. Okay? All right. Is Seplat and Fidelity a good buy? Folusho Kayode. Seplat is a domestic, or I will call indigenous oil prospecting company that has really proven itself to be a very valuable company that creates a lot of value for shareholders. I used to have Seplat when it was 350 naira per share, and I sold it at 750 naira per share, thinking that was the highest it can go, and it has come to the end of the road. Well, I was so wrong. That was some years ago. And then now, Seplat 5,500 or so per share. So I thought I won when I sold at 750, considering I bought at 350 naira, making 400 naira gain per share. Well, I have now been proven wrong by Mr. Time that, look, patience is key. And that's why I don't like experience. People say, oh, experience is the best teacher. Can I debunk that statement? Experience is the worst teacher, if you ask me, because I like to think outside the box. Experience is the worst teacher because she teaches you the lesson after she must have punished you. Get that? Right? She is the worst teacher. I don't want to learn from experience. I want to learn from a mentor, because the mentor has suffered what you want to suffer. So the mentor now protects you from suffering what he suffered. Right? That's why I say mentorship is the legal shortcut to success. How? The mentor tries to qualify you for what you are not qualified for while preparing you to qualify you. He gives you what you are not qualified for while preparing you to qualify for it. I prefer to learn under a mentor than to learn by experience. You get the difference now. So let's not take every garbage we are told. Experience is not the best teacher. For 27 years I've been in this market, I have learned things that I don't want you to go through. So I show you how to avoid them. So at market pumps, bull seasons like this is the time to be careful, and if possible, reassess your portfolio from time to time. Check what stocks do not really have the best fundamentals, even though they are flying. Those are the ones I want to say when I start seeing that the market is reversing and showing some signs of pullbacks, while propping up my solid long-term dividend growth stocks. Right? That's the way to play the market. I hope somebody's getting something. So many people have been punished. Maobi says, yes, so after punishment and pain, that's when you now learn. That's not the best way to learn. So I am navigating the market with you during the bull season when everything looks fantastic, and the worst seasons. And we've had two recently in the international market. It was when 2022, after 2020, when Russia attacked Ukraine. And then most recently, it has happened again in April when Israel attacked Iran. Okay? So, there you go. Good afternoon, Coach. Is Jaiz Bank and First Holdco a good buy now? Well, as at yesterday, Jaiz was a good buy. I think it continues to be a good buy, even at 3.50 kobo per share, considering the fantastic result they published this week. And then, of course, First Holdco continues to look interesting as long as it's around 28, 29. Okay? All right. Remember, every view and review are all my personal opinions, not a financial advice. Please do your due diligence. And we are a do-it-yourself club, and so we don't interfere coming to ask you for money. Please, nobody should ask you for money, and do not part with any money from your pocket. All right? Looks like I've not been seeing comments from Instagram. I need to let Instagram know that they should be letting the comments scroll, so it makes it easier, just like TikTok does, and YouTube also. Experience is the worst teacher because it leaves you with regrets. Exactly. Do you know Chioma is talking? Thank you very much for your feedback. What Nigerian stocks to buy? The same question over and over. So if you miss out on anything in this live session, at the end of the day, in fact, it doesn't take time anymore. You go onto the YouTube channel just after the live session, 5-10 minutes after the live session, the video is there under live. The broadcast is right there for you to go back and revisit and take some notes if you like. How do we know when the bearish season starts, sir? You will start seeing stocks dropping. That's very simple. For those who are just coming into the stock market, now this is me taking us through our learning session. You know, every day we have a little slot for educational and theoretical learning. For the stock market, there are two major seasons, the bull and the bear. The bull stands for when stock prices are jumping, and then the bear stands for when stock prices are collapsing. So you will find anywhere they're discussing stocks, you will see there are two key symbols, the symbol of a bull and the symbol of a bear, both of them locking horns and trying to fight, right? So that's the way it is. So for now, as stock prices are jumping for whatever reason, it's a bull season. You can tell that everything is just turning green. And then when stock prices begins to drop for whatever reason also, the bears have come in and are now overpowering the bull. So that's the thing. Once you see stock prices dropping from, it will now reflect on, for instance, the oil share index, the Nigerian oil share index. You will see there's a drop, but currently we are experiencing continuous growth of the ASI of the Nigerian exchange. Please talk about Ella Lakes. Got at 5 naira 10 kobo weeks ago, now 9 naira. Bisoye, congratulations. Ella Lakes is not just 9 naira. Ella Lakes is selling at 12 naira. Can I surprise you? I'm surprised where you're looking at Ella Lakes from, but I can tell you Ella Lakes is at 12 naira. Hold on, I'll give you the actual price as we speak. That's it there. Yesterday, it closed at 11 naira 49. Today, it's at 12 naira 25 kobo per share. 15 million bids for Ella Lake as we speak. 1 million on offer. Coach, Guinness just jumped. I told you, Guinness is a bomb waiting to explode. But you know how this market behaves. It waits for the impatient to jump out so that they will define what impatience is in practical terms. You know the pain you feel when you sell a stock, and the moment you sell, the stock flies. There are a lot of people like that who will go through it this season. As I speak to you, Guinness is on full bid. When a stock that is at 96 naira is on full bid, from 88 naira it closed yesterday, then you are in for a fantastic run. Now, Guinness is not one of those cheap stocks. Can I tell you? Guinness is a powerhouse and a bomb. I kept watching Nigerian breweries coming closer while Guinness stayed back. Now it is time for Guinness to rise. And if you invest in Guinness, you are investing in a solid, these are the blue chip stocks. They are the growth stocks. They have everything going for them in terms of past performances and capacity to perform in the future. I know I was looking at the finances financials the other time, some months ago, when I mentioned Guinness at 77 and 75. Well, 96 naira 80 kobo. So it's about time for Guinness to fly to 100 naira. And I told you around April that Guinness is a 100 naira stock. Then it was still dilly-dallying around 75, 70 and all that. Now take a look. It's 96.80. One leap from 88, it's 96. So you can imagine the next leap by Monday, Guinness should be selling at over 100 naira per share. All right? Okay. Coach, what about FTN Cocoa? Should we wait for more inclination or should we sell? Stand structures. All you need to do for a stock like that, because I know that the fundamentals are not pure for FTN Cocoa. You know, it lingered at under 2 naira. It stayed at 198 for so long. Well. Suddenly it leaps and very abnormally, it's now 750. 7 naira 50 kobo from 2 naira or thereabouts. I begin to wonder, what is the fundamental backing this stock? Well, anything could happen from maybe behind the scene, just like we are seeing with Ella Lakes. Okay, anything can still may be happening that has caused this attention on the stock, but you have to be sure what you are doing per time. Honestly, that's the situation. As far as FTN Cocoa is concerned, all you need to do, watch when supplies mount. Once you start seeing supplies, because for now it's looking like it will keep gaining, but tomorrow it can also change. Any moment, anything can happen. So you keep vigilance until you see supply starts coming, then you find a way to start offloading. That's the way to go as far as FTN Cocoa is concerned. Coach, thank you for all you do. Please talk about CWG and ABC Trans. Is it a good buy or a sell? CWG has most recently made people a lot of money and can only now try to find a way to breathe. And that's why sometimes, while other stocks are jumping, you will find some people will try to sell what they've already made from CWG. So as we speak, CWG is at 1610, 40 kobo less than it sold yesterday, or it closed yesterday. Okay, and then you have to be taking a long-term position on CWG to get in there. And then for ABC Transport, I've heard that they are getting involved in some other thing beyond just road transport that we all know them for. But the details are still sketchy, but the stock price is not relenting. The 1.6 million bids, no offers. I just don't know any much to say because I haven't really considered their financials as well. All right. Coach, what do you think about Sunu Assurance? I bought it in February, same time with ICO, but it's been depreciating and I've lost already. McLang Beatrice. There has never been a time I've been asked about Sunu that I recommended. So I'm sure you bought it on your own some time ago, maybe before joining. But I understand the problem with Sunu. Sunu actually also did an Ella Lake last year. Sunu just kept rising from nowhere, under 1 naira. It rose to about 10 or 11 naira. Hold on. So that's what's going to happen to a stock like, this is not to say I dislike any stock here. Of course not. As long as it makes you money, I'm happy with it. But don't be surprised when some of these stocks with poor fundamentals drop. They will be irredeemable when the crash starts. So you have to be vigilant. We're talking about Sunu here now. That's Sunu, 4 naira 80 kobo. This stock galloped to 11 naira 65 kobo from under 1 naira last year. It made such a fantastic run. Everybody was wondering. Well, it's just found its way. You know how they say it, water finds its levels. So that's what's happening with Sunu. It may not rise anytime soon. That's the challenge with that stock. And then you said some other stock, you mentioned some other one, AICO, you bought it the same time with AICO. So AICO was the one that was most neglected and was in a struggle between 1 naira 60 kobo and 170. Sometimes it drops to 1 naira 50 kobo, and it stayed that long until this recent bull run finally found a way to push it. But you see that Sunu, the reason why it stays and is still dropping is because too many people have made a lot of money and dumped it on others. So those who bought under 1 naira, you can imagine it got to 11 naira. So what's happening is the offloading is not done, and it will take a lot of time before it consolidates. So it's now entering into new hands who are coming in at 4. All right? So they will now hold on, they won't sell, and then if it tries to go above 4, some others will sell to continue to depress it until they are done selling. So it's a case of demand and supply affecting a stock like Sunu right now, after that serious run experienced last year. Okay. Major Tycoon says, Coach, should I wait on Okomo or Presco or jump in now? Doesn't seem to be coming down. I believe in the Agric sector. Any others I should be looking at to jump in? Major Tycoon, I would suggest, if you are looking between Presco and Okomo, the fact that Presco has now stagnated for long, so long that Okomo is nearly close to 900, then it's looking like it's Okomo's turn to wait if Presco decides to move. So you want to take some Presco while you wait to see if Okomo could come below 900. The way they are going, all of them, I'm talking about the oil palm companies, it doesn't look like they are relenting at all every time they hit a new milestone. It's happened severally at various milestone levels in terms of the price action, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. So let's see how that goes. Okay, Coach, I qualified for feeds-in dividend. Am I required to fill out e-mandate form, or my stockbroker will do it for me? Okwo Kingsley Olisa. Actually, your broker, being proactive enough, has already supplied your details to the registrar. So it's not the broker, it's about how proficient the registrar is. Most registrars do not need you to fill any e-mandate form because your details were sent to them and they updated their register. So what I will advise you to do is go ahead and perhaps expect your dividend payment in 1 or 2 weeks after. If it is not paid, then you can go ahead to fill the form. So you don't stress yourself doing what you shouldn't be doing, knowing fully well perhaps that your records are with the registrars. Rosaline Ogochukwu says, good day, Coach. Please, when is a good time to sell NIMIT and at what price? Depending on when you bought your NIMIT, NIMIT has also done a whole lot in terms of price movement, and I seriously think NIMIT is now overpriced. You can check it anywhere through any fundamental procedures. You will find that NIMIT is overpriced. It's just a matter of time before the market corrects it. At the moment, I'm searching for NIMIT now. Let's see how much it is and at what the bid and offer is. 9 naira 17 kobo. This was a NIMIT of 2 naira 50 kobo that we were seeing and just waiting for it to come down. Well, it refuses to come down, gets caught up in this bid, in this bear action, and what do we have? 917. 4.9 million bids versus 3.8 million offers. So if you bought for the short term and you have made good gains, now that the bid and offer status is almost looking the same, it's looking like supplies have built up to match with demand. And very soon, pressure will come and they will now need to start overselling. And if they sell down, the demand will start reducing. And when that happens, the price will keep coming down. As we speak, the highest bid is 905, while the lowest offer is 917. 4.9 million bids, 3.8 million offers. This limit used to be unavailable, but now there are almost 4 million offers in the market, which tells you more people want to sell to make taking profit. So the ball is in your court to decide. Remember, it's just my opinion and not a financial advice. You may want to do your due diligence. Right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 hour into the session. It's now time for calls to come in. And I'll go straight to the phone line. Who do we have here? Omo T, the realtor. Let's go ahead and hear from Omo T right now as we connect. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon to you. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yeah, streaming from Lagos, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for joining. Go ahead with your questions.
All right, sir. Please, I want to confirm an information so that I won't be making mistakes. Somebody said that if you have some funds with you, probably for an example, a fund made for a particular project, let's say like rents and the likes. So I wrote that it should not be used to invest in stocks and all that. And even in as much as you know that you have enough time like 6 months and above to invest the money, that the person said it's not right to invest the money into stocks. So I want to confirm how true is that, sir. Thank you.
Okay, these are all expert advices, and it's important to note that in life there are needs and wants. If we understand these two, we will be able to prioritize our finances accordingly. Now, rent is a need, not a want. What's the difference between a need and a want? A need is something you can't do without. You seem not to be able to do without. A want is something you can continue to live on this earth without whatever it is. So, rent is one of such. And because the stock market is a volatile environment or investment asset, you do not want to risk a rent in such a short term. 6 months is a short term to try to play the stock market with. Instead, you leave the money or you put it in a fixed deposit or a treasury bill or commercial paper that can return your capital at exactly the 6 months after which you need them. The advice is perfect. I absolutely agree with that, because it is things like this that causes some form of problems to so many, because the market is full of eventualities that can come up, right? So you don't want to risk such a very important capital that you need in the stock market. All you need to do is, now that you know that the stock market can grow your money, put in money in the stock market that you will not need for the short term, because that's when the money really has time to grow for you. So that advice, being a stock market enthusiast that I am, I can agree with you that that advice is sound and perfect.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Next on the queue is J. Ace. While he's trying to connect, Afrin Shaw has been at 20 Kobo for years. Do you know what is going on? I do not know. Adeolu Adeyinka, no idea whatsoever. I wish I knew. And usually, because I have very little time, I do not research every other stock in the market. So I pick my stocks that I research so that whatever energy I put in it, I get good results out of it. Hello. Hello? Okay, we're having connection problems with J. Ace. We'll let him go so we can get more others to join and get us talking. Gerald is the next on the line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's good to hear from you, Gerald. Tell us your name. Okay, I've mentioned your name, where you're streaming from, and we proceed.
So my name is Gerald. I'm calling from Canada.
Thank you very much, Gerald. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm having a little bit of issue that I needed maybe clarification. I have sent a class email, and their response is not clear to me.
Okay.
So some time ago, I opened a NAST account
Mm-hmm.
with them. That's like almost 3 or 4 months, and I deposited money there, but I didn't have any need to use that account. So yesterday, when you were talking about MRS and Afreland, so I decided to just go there and see. So on that account, I didn't see any Afreland, and I searched on Google, got Afreland ticker symbol, still went and put it there. Still it didn't come up. So I said, okay, let me try to buy MRS because I saw MRS on that account. And then I tried to buy MRS, and it's telling me that the trading account is invalid. So I sent across the mail, they didn't respond. So this morning I went back, I said, okay, let me try another stock and just see whether is it a MRS issue or my bidding issue. So I tried buying another stock that I saw on that account at a market price or at the current price that we have a latest offer, and it still showed me the same thing. So I screenshotted it and sent an email to Atlas, and they responded that I need to use a NAST app in order to access the market, or I should send them a mandate. So that got me worried. Like, okay, I downloaded the NAST app I saw on what is it called? On Google app, or sorry, not Google. What is it? This Android app I downloaded this thing. I downloaded the NAST, and I have to register, open a new account. So I don't understand. So I said, okay, let me call in. Maybe if you have experience on NAST, how it's being done, and that if Atlas doesn't have a direct access to them, like what accounts did I open with them there on that NAST? So that's why I got to find out what's going on.
Okay, actually, NASD is not any stockbrokers platform. It's completely different from the way the NGX interfaces with other brokers. For NASD, your broker will first process your registration. Then, with the account you have opened, you will now connect with the app that you download. Remember, generally on NGX, your broker does your transactions for you, but they have now digitized most of them. And that's why for brokers like Atlas, you can now do it yourself, which makes it easier for more, I will call volumes, transactions and all that, because when you have multiple people doing their transactions themselves, makes it easier. Now, it is not so for NASD. Everybody who wants to do NASD must either go through the brokers, and then if you want to do it yourself, then having opened your account with NASD, you will now download the app before you now reconnect that your account they opened with NASD to the app to now proceed. So it's absolutely normal. That's how I opened my NASD account as well. In fact, it was impossible to do NASD by yourself. It was the old school way. It was most recently they introduced the apps. At some point, it wasn't working on iOS, so I couldn't open a NASD account, get a NASD app. You would have to maintain an account through your broker for NASD, and whatever they tell you, whatever you bid for, you just don't have that transparency. But with the advent of the app, it's now sort of possible. So even the app, as you can see, has its ups and downs. So it's a matter of time before they perfect it. All I can say is, I wish Atlas is here so they can handle it directly. Otherwise, we can go through Atlas offline to sort it out, because I have opened my NASD, it works, and whatever they mix up, it's not entirely Atlas's problems. So sometimes if NASD has issues on their platform also, you can't do anything. It's just that you are not communicating directly with NASD. You will still have to talk with your broker, and then you may just be wondering, what are they doing? Okay, so that's the situation with the NASD platform.
Okay, so if I register on the app, can I still maintain my
CSCS number.
number that Atlas used, or will NAS have to generate a new one?
No, if you, the purpose of registering on the app is to link what they have opened with you manually, so you can now access it. In fact, that app also helps you to easily fund your account to do your transactions. So it's for Atlas to now link you up with still the NASD officials who will merge your existing account with your app. Then you fly from there.
Okay, that makes sense now. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Talking about NASD. Now let me tell you why I ended up not having Aradel. It's because of these issues. The NASD platform does not give you direct access, and we have a lot of things we are doing. We are very busy. Nobody has the time to keep chasing after a broker or something like that. So, and then if there is not enough transparency, interface systems are not on, you get discouraged. I would have been a shareholder of Aradel many years ago when it was known as Niger Delta Petroleum Prospecting. I think it was known as Niger Delta Petroleum. It was. Can I tell you the history of Aradel? Time will not permit us. But guess what? That stock moved from 1,083 naira in December 2023 to 10,000, 9,800 or so last year before it got listed. All right? So I could have made that money then, but the interface was not there. And that's what discourages me with the NASD platform. Even up till now, it's still locomotive on the app. So really, really discouraging. If they can improve on that, they will also see improved activity in terms of transactions done. Okay, so that's about that. Next caller on the line, JD Foods. While JD is coming up, Coach, good day, please. What's happening with Airtel Africa? Full bill, but price isn't moving. God day slings. I can explain. You need 100,000 block transactions for any stock price to appreciate. Airtel should be selling for 3,500 naira per share right now, but unfortunately, it remains stock at 2,005. Why? Liquidity problems in terms of who wants to sell. Now, somebody has actually summoned the courage to place a bid of 109,000 shares for Airtel, yet there are no offers. And if every day there are no offers, the stock price will not move because transactions need to happen. 109,000 shares at over 2,500. I'm trying to work it out. See how much money is required to move this stock price. At the highest price of 2,541 naira 50 kobo, 2,541.5, that is talking about 277 million naira. Somebody has staked 277 million naira to buy 109,000 Airtel Africa shares. If that transaction is done, 100,000 minimum bulk transaction, the price will move from 2,310, it closed yesterday, to to 2,541. But if the transaction is not up to 100,000 shares done at once, then the stock price will continue to revert to the previous day's 2,310. So even if somebody comes and buys 99,000 shares of Airtel at 2,541 naira per share, which is the highest price it can attain today, it means that the stock price will still close at 2,310 naira, which was the closing price yesterday. That's the problem with Airtel. That's the problem with any stock that becomes so expensive because you now need too much money to change the price. You see the way C&I leasing, Ella Lakes, all of these penny stocks are jumping. Just 100,000 shares by 2 naira per share. Boom, price changes. So that's why it's the way it is. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Catherine. I'm calling from London, UK.
Okay, your name, please.
Catherine.
Kafre, thank you very much from the UK. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, why I'm calling is because I'm trying to set up an account on Atlas. Since you sent me the link, I've tried on 3 different occasions, and I pressed submit, and then it goes back to the original form again. My worries. The question I have is it because I'm in the UK, I'm having that problem? Do I need to be in Nigeria for me to register? I don't know what's going on. Why
Okay,
it's taking me back
it's
to start all over again?
it's not at all because you are in the UK. You can open your account from anywhere you are.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And I think some people also experience that challenges like that. But I think you can. What were you using to actually fill the form, to complete the form?
I tried using my phone, I've tried using the desktop, I've tried, if you understand, both my phone and the desktop, and I attached the documents, did everything, pressed submit, and it keeps taking me back to the original form, like as if I should start all over again, wiping out everything.
Okay. Do you have more than one browser on your system?
No, I don't.
Otherwise, I would have said use a different browser to try to do it. How did you get the link?
You sent me the link, so I copied the link from where you sent it to me, because I don't want to make mistakes. I keep copying the link from where you sent it to me, and then I paste it.
Okay, I think it might just be one technical issue that is repeatedly recurring. So what I advise is do me a reminder by Instagram and let me follow up with them. I can't find them here, and I don't know if it may not just work by voice call. So it's something I can try to follow up.
I'll send you a message. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Next caller. Okay, Atlas is here. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, Atlas is here. I would like them to attend to her concern almost immediately, just so she can be sorted on the spot. Hello, Atlas. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today. Please, can you quickly provide solutions to the last caller's concerns?
Yeah, it could be some cache files in our browser. It happens most times with cache files. Since I've been trying over and over again, so she can just send us a WhatsApp message on an alternative method to sign up.
Fantastic. Can you hear us over there? Please, Atlas, type your WhatsApp number on the comment section so she can be able to respond. She's already responding on the comment section, so you take it up from there. Thank you very much for your prompt response. J. Ace, we lost you. You were the first caller. Can we hear you now? Coach, Datamax refuses to credit my GTCO shares to my CSCS. What do you think I should do after having sent them several mails? Or money allow, what you can do is do a final email telling them you will petition the Securities and Exchange Commission if they refuse to respond, and actually copy SEC. If you want the email address of SEC, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll forward it to you. Thank you. That's Omoni Alao on YouTube. All right. Hello. Still having challenges with JA, so we will go ahead and look for the next caller. See how we can quickly meet up with calls. Standing by. Philip, I guess you called the other time, we couldn't reach you. How do I call in? GT, your call is standing by already, so I'll soon take your call. Akin says, hello coach, please talk about Chams. Is it a good time to sell or still wait on it? Will it dip down soon or will the bull run continue? At Atkins, if you bought Chams to sell and you see profit that you are happy with, you are the CEO of your portfolio. Go ahead and deal. As for me, I'm in Chams for the long term, so I will not be in the best position to advise you to sell, even considering the fact I know not how much you bought and I know not what your investment strategy for picking that stock is. You see why I say in this space, every view and opinion is my personal thoughts. Never an investment advice. Do your due diligence. You can share quality information with you. You make up your mind on what to do. Hello. Okay, we lost Philip also. We continue on to, okay, we have Muftau. After Muftau is Chuchuli. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I'm streaming from Ibadan.
Muftau from Ibadan. Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Sir, my question is, my PFD, my bonus has not been added to my portfolio.
Okay. Is Atlas your broker?
I've sent email to Atlas. There's no response.
All right, Atlas, what do you have to say about crediting VFD to shareholders?
Yeah, coach, everything will be rectified this week. We just got the list of the qualified shareholders and the units because we can't just post checking the difference between your CSCS statement and in-house. We must get an advice from CSCS for the exact unit, and we just got a great feedback yesterday. So over the weekend, that will be done by the reconciliation team. So by Monday, everybody's account will be regularized.
Thank you very much. I hope that clears you, Muftau. Bye for now. Make it fast. Make it fast.
Hello, coach. There's a friend of mine here who wants to ask question about his father stocks. His father is late and wants to ask question about it.
Okay. Muftau, I expected that you would have taught him what you have learned.
Yes, I've already explained to him that I've sent the link to him to register for Atlas portfolio.
So are you saying he has a question?
If he has a will,
Are you saying?
with the letter of administration.
Please let him ask. Let him ask.
Okay, oh yeah, send me. Take. Hello, sir.
Go ahead with your question.
Yes, I want to ask what can I do? I've seen it and I've discussed it with my sisters and brothers. So that's why I want to know what can I do? What can we do to just activate all that thing now?
Did your father leave a will behind? Get a lawyer. They will take you to the probate court wherever you are located to obtain a letter of administration over your dad's estate. And then from there, you can proceed to get a broker after that to regularize and take possession of your father's assets. That's what to do. Thank you very much.
Is that anywhere you can help? Maybe I should just have a
I'm not in Ibadan. You just need to, and I'm not a lawyer. The little help I can, I have just offered. You proceed to a lawyer to discuss the rest and do the. After that, you get a broker. If you want a broker, your friend Muftau Dauda can connect you with Atlas to open an account, and then you submit all the documents. Then the process goes on. Thank you very much. Next on the line is GT. Good afternoon. Please, can you go away from the noise? Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from? God's time from the UK. Go ahead. It's good to have you. Make it fast. Mm-hmm. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
So I noticed some disparity about the other field and the price I ordered for. So I'm beginning to wonder why it's like that. I don't. If you
You.
can help me share little bit light on it. Like what I'm having here now, I ordered at 114, and which is a unit cost. It's a 114. But meanwhile, my limit price was 114. But when it feed at 114.93 kobo. So whenever I trade like that, I see it like that. So I don't know why is it like that.
Because the commission you paid is not on the price. So what the system does is it now also takes the commissions that you have paid and spreads it on the stock price per share basis. So that way, whatever you see as your profit is perfect. You are almost going to be in error if you think that you bought at 114 and therefore when it gets to 115, you have made 1 naira. You didn't make 1 naira because you did not also consider that there were commissions that was charged to your cash account. So what the system does is every penny you spent on VAT, on every other thing, plus the commission, is now spread on per share basis. So it gives you the exact cost, apart from the price of the stock, that you spent per share. That's the most accurate way to determine whether you are in profit or not. Thank you very much. Your background is too noisy to keep you on. Please, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very problematic situation when we have to deal with the noises from your background. I am here receiving most of the troubles. You may not understand because you are not in this place. It's almost like a studio setting, just the way you call in a radio station and they tell you, put your volume down, because the hall back is very terrible to listeners, especially the one in the building. Okay, Lekon, you are next. Coach, please, Dangote Sugar, a buy now. Peter Wanchuku is asking, let's see what Dangote Sugar is. Has it dropped below, 50 naira? If it has, then that's okay. It's still at 50 naira. Please ensure your environment is quiet before you come to call in, because we can't deal with the noise at your background. Hello.
Hi, Jay. My name is Jay.
Jay.
Calling from China.
Jay from China. It's good to have you back.
Right.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you about the market capital thing. I contacted them. The stocks, I mean, was okay, but my FGN savings bond for June, they said they have not allocated it or something, and it's never been like that. I've been buying FGN stocks since like for the last 6 months, but this one has taken more than a month. So they said they have to look into it again and they'll get back to me. So my question is, how long after they might have deducted the money from my stock trading account?
For that long? How long have they been with that money?
Yeah, for that long.
Oh, so unfortunate. Communication is really poor. We go on to the next caller.
Sorry? Can you repeat
How long
that, please?
has it been since they
I can
deducted?
hear you. I can hear you quite clearly. That's last month, first week of June.
Is a savings bond?
Yes, FGN savings bond.
Okay,
The previous one,
this is what you would do.
through then, it's just after 1 or 2 days, everything was okay.
This is what you would do. While following them up, watch out for your first coupon payment 3 months after when you invested. So if it's been a month, that means in the next 2 months, you should be expecting your coupon payment. It is when that coupon payment doesn't drop, then you take it up from there. For now, keep following them up, keep reminding them. You need an evidence to show that they really didn't process having debited you. And the only real evidence, especially when it comes to savings bond, is waiting till coupon payment time. Is that okay?
Okay. All right. I've got one more. Sorry. I've got one more question. I registered with Atlas and my account has been opened, but I didn't get a username and password.
Have you checked in your spam mailbox just in case? Because
I
sometimes.
sent them an email today, but no response yet. Okay. I will check it, but I've sent them an email.
Don't worry about that.
To
All
send
you,
a response, but
all you need to do now, just check your spam mailbox if ever they sent you. If they didn't, go on the comment section. They are in the building. They will sort you out almost immediately. They will just ask for your name. So watch on the comment as they respond. Is that okay?
okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Believe. Hello, Believe. Good afternoon. Okay, J Ace, they need your name. Go on the comment section. Go ahead, sir. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Believe from Lagos. Good to have you. Go ahead.
Some things I noticed on Atlas portfolio. So on some stocks. So I really want to know what it means when I see a stock that has only dates and there has no
What happened to VFD?
Like I saw their stock went from 90 something naira to 14, and like I seen that is a
Do you
crash
do you
also.
have do you have VFD?
Sir,
Do you have VFD?
no, but I am monitoring some stocks that I want to
All right. Let me inform you and particularly any other person who is listening. Nothing is wrong with VFD. They issued a bonus of 5 for 1, and usually every bonus issue and every dividend payment, the stock price is adjusted accordingly. It's called markdown. So when the stock price rose to 93 naira, because everybody wanted the bonus, that bonus meant if you, for every one VFD you have, they give you 5 extra as bonus, free of charge. After all of that, people clamored for the stock, money chased it, and it jumped from wherever it was to 93 per share. And then when the bonus was now finally officially given, they marked down the price to readjust to fit into the actual value of stocks that you had before the bonus announcement. That's the way they do it. For dividend, for instance, next month, Presco will be paying dividend 42 naira per share. That 42 naira will be deducted on the payment date or markdown date from the stock price. So whatever the price of Presco is, they will deduct 42 naira officially from the stock exchange there for the stock to continue like that. That's because the stock market is not a money doubling scheme. The value of your VFD when it rose to 93 naira will still be the same when you receive the 5 extra bonus shares to add to what you already have and check it against the current price. In fact, VFD has added value to anybody who has it because the markdown price was around 13 naira 60 kobo, but it has moved to 14. I even saw it jump up to 17 some time ago. So every time VFD is above 13 naira 60 kobo, the value of what your entire shares was when it rose to 93 naira is the same value it is. That is to say, the fact VFD currently, let's check and see, currently is at 14 something, I guess, right? VFD currently is at 14 naira 30 kobo. That means the value of your bonus shares added to what you have now times that's the current price, which is total of your bonus shares plus what you had before, will give you what value that is more than when it was 93. So VFD is actually creating value by being at 1430. And anything above 1360 is actually greater value for you. Even though on the surface, you saw it at 93 before and you're now seeing it at 14. Do you understand now?
Yes.
So that's what somebody called earlier to ask. I have not received the allotment for my VFD bonus. And then Atlas responded. They just got the authentic list from CSCS. Now they will use this weekend to credit every shareholder of VFD. So nothing is wrong with VFD. VFD continues to create value for shareholders. So anybody coming in now is going to be buying from this base level, and over time, it will now continue to grow as long as the company continues to make money and create value for shareholders. Thank you very much. As for the other question you asked, it's really confusing. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay, I mean, when you come to any product that you want to purchase or want to check the dates, you will see a date and you see the numbers and the total orders. And when you go to the order, the offer, you might not see any.
What that means is, you know what happens in basic economics. Demand and supply mechanism is what rules the market. That's why it's called a market. Even if they are not selling tomato and pepper, a market is where the people come together to exchange goods and services, buy and sell. And once there is buying and selling, that means the demand and supply mechanism is at play. You remember when there is fuel scarcity, what happens? The price of petrol goes up. And when fuel is in absolute supply all over the place, what happens? The price of fuel comes down. When too much money is chasing a particular item, in this case a stock, the price keeps going up. And then, of course, when you see any column empty, it tells you it's either a stock is being chased because the pink column is empty. Nobody is selling. Everything they bring to sell has been bought. Or the blue column is empty, meaning nobody is offering. Nobody is interested in that stock. A stock like Transpower is in such a situation. Thank you very much. Time is not on our side. 8 minutes more. We need to take more callers. You have to wait, and you don't need to run after any stock that is in high demand, because at that point, you may just be buying a stock that everybody else is trying to run away from. So don't use that to decide what stock to buy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rafi is next on the line. Hello, Rafi. My coach, we don't change my life. I appreciate you. Sir, please, is livestock a goodbye now? Dr. Newton, I do not know, on the basis of the fact that it has not really moved after that major move in the first quarter of the year, I think it could be a goodbye, but on the basis of the financials, it's not really too fantastic. We need to actually see the true picture in this second quarter, right? So do well to really wait to see. Towards the end of this month, most of the half-year results will be out. I think stocks like livestock, we really need to see what's really going on with it from the half-year results. And for your information, I know that when VFD will eventually declare their half-year result, you will be amazed at the numbers. And when that happens, the stock price will leave that 14 Naira car park as we speak. Hello. Rafi, very good afternoon. It's good to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So if you have 20 million and you want to invest long term, from most of your talks I've had, Fidelity, T, Access Bank, and UACN are good buy. Just wanted to confirm, how would you distribute that fund into these asset stocks?
Okay, 20 million amongst the stocks you just mentioned.
Well, yes, I just mentioned that because you've been talking about them for a while, so that's why I mentioned that.
Now, this is why the daily live session is important, because we get to see exactly the current prices, price actions, and of course news in the market driving these stocks. For me, I will go in for First Holdco. I will go in for Fidelity, because I believe they have very serious upside to their stock price. And TIP also, I will go in for TIP. By the way, I do not want to also overspread the funds so that I will see real value when they start giving me returns. And if I want to add a fourth, it means I'm almost like splitting 5 million on each of them. That's fair. Then I will go in also for UACN. So perfect, if you ask me. In today's market, considering most other stocks have jumped, you don't want to go and catch a falling knife, neither do you want to run after a moving train. You know how disastrous both situations can be. So these are some of the safest places to put your money right now and expect very good returns going forward.
Yeah, so just one last question before I go. There was a time you mentioned about T, it was 4 Naira at that time. I invested in it at that time and it grew to 7 Naira and I got my money back, which was good. Thank you for that. But now it's 9 Naira, 9 point something Naira, so I'm not scared to invest in it at this time. Do you think it's still wise to do this? Because my initial
Absolutely. Now, let me ask. Your money you got back, was it the capital you pulled out or you completely left tip? No offense, no worries at all. Now you are looking at a long-term investment in tip, and tip is in a very good place to give you fantastic returns going forward. If in the last 5 years a stock like NACO was just selling for 2 naira, and up till November last year, it was still available at 45. Nobody knew that buying at 45 could land you at 97 within a space of 7 months. That's what value stocks can do for you. Before I came on live, I still took another look at the financials of TIP up till the first quarter. It's looking pretty excellent. In fact, the second quarter result will even be more brilliant. And that means more future upside for TIP. So there's nothing to worry about. As a matter of fact, what's going on with TIP right now, around that 9 naira is consolidation. It goes close to 9 naira, 10 kobo, 9 naira, 5 kobo, goes back to 9.90 and so on. It's just in a wait for the next push. And I know when it's been accumulated long enough, the next thing is to keep moving, especially even if nothing happens when the second quarter result is out, maybe the end of this month or early next month. Thank you. So that happens a lot. When you buy a stock cheaper earlier, you make some money, and then to get back in becomes very hard. I understand that. But I've been long enough in this market to know that you can be right twice, especially if you are talking about a very good stock. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 minutes. What do we do with these 2 minutes? Well, we have Lexus having waited for so long. Maybe we'll take that last call, and I take a few more comments as we try to round off. It's almost looking like on a daily basis, 2 hours is no longer enough. Do I do an AI session where AI will be talking while I'm resting? I don't know, but let's see how it goes. Hello. Good afternoon. It's good to have you. Your name and where you're streaming from, please. Babatunde, thank you for joining.
Yes, sir. I just want to say a big thank you to you. Looking at my portfolio, and I'm so excited. You really don't know how happy I am.
Awesome. Wow.
I can testify to the goodness of culture.
We can testify to the goodness of God, sir. Wow. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. God bless you too. Oh, now, thank God it's Friday. It's making sense, right? That's how it should be. Thank you very much for making it very brief. And now I want to apologize to everyone whose comments I've not been able to respond to. And of course, to those who have called in. We still have about 16 guests whose calls I couldn't take. Hopefully, I will look into ways to respond to your calls earlier and faster from next week. This is where we come to the end of today's live session. Unfortunately, it's looking like 2 hours is no longer enough, but guess what? We are on Discord group. So outside the 2 hours live, you can always ask questions, especially now that it is weekend. Most of us will be having a breather to be able to respond to some of your queries. And just do well to follow me on Instagram at Wealth Coach Omiete. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for free at Wealth Coach Omiete. Search for me there. And also follow me on TikTok as always. All DMs, please send to Instagram so I can respond to you, because TikTok is crowded. And then, of course, if you want to open your brokerage account, I will send you the link. You want to join the Network Investors Club? We are over 2,500 members, Nigerians abroad and in Nigeria, and some foreigners. Feel free to send me a DM to send you the link. The link is unique. It expires after a while so that we continue to protect members of the group from any form of hackers. Now listen, we are Net Worth Investors Club. not investment club. There is nowhere you'll be asked to bring money in and let them invest for you. It's a do-it-yourself club, so that everything you do, the returns will appear in your bank account. Do not be deceived by anybody who takes my DP, display picture, creates a fake account and comes into your DM. I won't come into your DM, neither will any of the executives come into your DM. All you do, send a DM to me. I'll forward the links to you that you want. And of course, for those in the US, Canada, and those at work who could not meet up, now the video sessions for every live stream is available for free on the YouTube platform. Use this weekend, download if you like. For those of you, somebody has told me before that they would like to download in the office, we should upload very fast. Now it is straightforward. 5-10 minutes after the live session, the video is available right there on the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are missing a lot, because a lot is being cooked that will soon be shared there. And so this is how we call it a day. Thank God it's Friday. All portfolios are turning green. All your stocks are growing like grass. I hope the bull continues next week strongly. Until we meet again next week, this is me saying thank you very much for joining, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.